Hey, what is up, you guys? Welcome back to your friendly neighborhood scary movie girl. My name is Nika, and I'm here, so that must mean that we are about to talk about the new upcoming Child's Play remake movie. Woo, I think. I don't know. So I'm just gonna kind of go over what little I know because I've kind of tried to stay out of it. Just being like the fan that I am of the original franchise, this was hard for me, and so I'm doing my best to go into this as a new viewer, just pretending like, it has nothing to do with the other ones, and I'm just going in to sit down for a scary movie for the first time. So I'm going to talk about what little I know about it and kind of my thoughts on it, and in the very end, I'll talk about kind of my concerns when it comes to the original franchise and what it might mean for that. All right, so this movie is coming out this week, and hopefully I will be seeing it either on opening day or the following Friday or Saturday. It just depends on life and stuff. But I'm excited to see it. I'm interested to see Mark Hamill. So let's start with Mark Hamill as the voice of Chucky. Okay, not going to try to compare, so I'm not going to bring up Dorif until later. So Mark Hamill. That was creepy. Okay. So Mark Hamill as Chucky is a very interesting choice. I think Mark Hamill does amazing work. I think he does interesting voice work. I know he's like voiced characters like the Joker in the Batman cartoon series, and he's been super creepy. And obviously he's Luke Skywalker, so that's pretty amazing. So far from the trailers, I'm impressed with his voice. I think he's got kind of the good sort of creepy vibe. I think he kind of adds kind of some pizzazz to Chucky, but I don't know for sure. I haven't seen the whole movie. They don't show a ton of him talking, so I don't know what I think. We'll see. One of my biggest concerns with Chucky himself in this movie is I am not in love with what he looks like so far and what I've seen. And again, like they don't show a ton in the trailers, so I'm not really I could just be seeing pictures and not viewing it right. But I am not totally in love with this new design. I think it looks kind of cheesy. But then again, that might go well with the new storyline. If you hear weird noises, that's my dog hopping up on the bed where I'm recording this right now. Hello, Scraps. But yeah, I have some concerns on what he looks like. Like, I'm kind of afraid I'm going to watch this and I'm just going to feel like a Teletubby is on a rampage, and I don't take that seriously. Like, the cool thing about, okay, I guess I'm breaking my rule and I'm comparing, but the cool thing about the original Child's Play Chucky doll was it looked like a doll. Like, it looked like the doll, like a doll I could go buy at the supermarket. Is that where you buy dolls? I don't know. But then as, he became possessed and as time went on and as he kind of evolved more into this doll, he looked more like creepy human morphy doll-like, and I thought that was a really awesome thing. So I'm kind of nervous how this new design is going to make me feel, but then again, maybe seeing it in motion will make it better for me. I don't know if that totally makes sense. So I watched, let's talk about Aubrey Plaza. So she's playing Andy Barclay's, I think his name's still Andy Barclay, I don't know, but Andy's mom. She's going to be a single mom, and I have concerns, but I think Aubrey Plaza will do fine, but I've just never seen her in a mom role, and she's still, I saw her in, what was it, Bad Grandpa, or something, that movie. I saw her in that, and so it's a little hard for me to like put her in the box of like a single mom that's trying to make it for her and her child. And but I feel like watching the trailers, like, she'll do fine. She's a really good actress. I think that she will be okay. Something that she had said that also concerned me a little bit for this movie. She was doing an interview with Ellen, and she said something to the effect of like, I don't want to be in a movie where people are stabbing me, but I could get behind artificial intelligence, and that made me kind of nervous for what this movie is going to be like in terms of like the actual like horror aspect. Like, is it, like the trailer leaves it looking pretty scary and pretty intense and pretty gory, but from that, like, is that not happening? I don't know. That was like my one fear with Aubrey Plaza. Otherwise, I think she'll do a good job. I think I will have to see it and kind of get into it myself, because that's just not a role I would have expected her to be in, but maybe she'll surprise me. I'm totally open to that. I know very little about the actor playing Andy Barclay. I don't know, so I can't judge him. I can't have any prior opinions. So as far as the storyline, so let's talk about the AI factor. And I don't know if I mentioned that this was something I was concerned about a while back when I first brought up this movie. But I do have concerns about the whole AI aspect. And my reasoning I'm just worried I'm not going to be able to take it seriously. Like, and I think a lot of other people, especially if they haven't seen the original franchise, will be able to go into this movie and, really feel that that is realistic and that that is something that could happen. But I think, and again, I'm comparing, I don't want to, but like it's hard because I love the original franchise so much. Um, I think it's harder for me to go into a Chucky movie and take the AI seriously. Where, in my opinion, almost they could have just made like an AI toy takes over movie without attaching it to Chucky. But then again, I could be surprised when I go to see it. But that's my fear. I also wonder, like, what if he's not like possessed, or demonic in some way? Like, what is gonna make the AI go evil? Like, that's interesting. Is it like of the AI's own choosing? Is it bad programming? That'll be an interesting aspect to see as well. I know that the director, I believe, or some creator from It, the new It, is behind this, and a lot of people really loved it. I actually have not seen it yet for some weird reason that I'm embarrassed to say. It's not because I'm scared, I'm just silly. Well, okay, fine, I'll just admit it. I promised my dad I wouldn't watch it without him, and we just never got around to it. So it's the honest reason. I just haven't seen it yet. But yeah, so I'm not sure what to think. There was a lot of good around that movie, and I can tell just from seeing the trailers and seeing clips that it was pretty well done. But then again, I haven't seen it, so just take that kind of like surface feel on it. But I don't know, like I'm excited to see Chucky in a different realm, but I'm also nervous. I don't know if that makes sense. I feel like I'm babbling. So I guess let's just jump to the comparison portion of this. I don't think this is going to be very long, but I will, after I see it, I will kind of break down what I think and how it compares to the original franchise, what's worse, what's better. I'll definitely do that in the next video. I just wanted to kind of do this before I went to go see it. So the thing I love about the original franchise, and I think I might have mentioned this in my one of my original talking about the Child's Play, the original franchise, is that one thing I love about Chucky as a character is he is evil, but he'll in weird ways have your back. That was my phone. So for example, in Cult of Chucky, when he takes over Nica's body, he kind of avenges her in a way with the creepy doctor guy that is hypnotizing her and doing bad things to her. So I like that Chucky, kind of in a weird way, he has the backs of the people that are not kind to him. Or in Child's Play 2, when Andy Barclay's in school and the teacher doesn't believe that he didn't do it. In a weird way, he gets the teacher, and she's not fair to Andy. And I don't know if that's intentional, but that's something I've always it's a twisted psychological narrative with Chucky, and I don't know if that can exist with an AI. And so I find that really fascinating and interesting. Same with Andy Barclay running from the doctor in the original Child's Play when he's in the psychiatric ward. The doctor in a way is harming Andy and not believing him, and Andy's telling the truth, and in this weird twisted way, Chucky has his back by stopping the doctor from giving him the shot or whatever it is to calm him down. So I don't know if that's intentional, but that's just something interesting I see in Chucky as a character and Brad Dourif's portrayal. So another question in comparison to the original franchise that I have, so something I've always thought was interesting about the original portrayal of Chucky is, he can kill any adult. He can creatively kill any adult. He's come up with such interesting ways to end people. But the thing, he's never successfully killed a kid up until Cult of Chucky, when he is the reason Alice dies, which I don't even know if you can consider him technically her killer. He does take over her body, and the body dies while he's fighting somebody. So, I mean, technically he did, but he didn't, straight up, attack her and end her life, if that makes sense. And that was actually one thing I was kind of upset about with Cult of Chucky, because that was always something that I thought it was, interesting that, any adult could lose to him, but any kid he's ever been after, with the exception of teenagers in Child's Play 3. I didn't think about that. But, still, it's not a little kid. It's, teenagers. He's never been able to successfully get rid of them, and then all of a sudden in Cult of Chucky he is, and you don't really see it, you don't know too much about it, just that it happened. So I wonder in this, new franchise, this remake, how that's gonna go. Like, is the AI going to kill children? Is it gonna be different in that sense? I don't know. I'm not really sure what to expect. Another thing that I thought was somewhat interesting about the AI that I think will have an interesting narrative to the movie is that it can control different things in the house. So it's almost like a universal remote, from what I understand. And that will be really interesting to see how it uses that against Andy and against any other protagonist, because, Chucky originally had to just use what was around him. Like, he had to get the knife off of the kitchen counter himself, and he left evidence of having walked on the counter. So is the new Chucky going to be able to use different things against people? Like, that'll be really interesting. Is he going to turn the house into an inferno with the heater and not allow them to turn it off, lock doors? I don't know. That will be interesting, and I think that'll actually be a cool aspect that couldn't have been in the original franchise. But also, is it more lazy? Ooh, good question. Is it a little bit more lazy? I don't know. So that's something to think about. That's so far all the thoughts that I have, only because I'm really, 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 really genuinely trying to go into this with an open mind, because there's that part of me that just wants to be so upset that they're remaking a franchise that is still currently happening. But, I mean, who knows? I thought the remake of not the remake, it's not a remake, I'm sorry, the new Halloween, the sequel to the first one, I thought that was really cool, although that's not even the same thing, because this is a remake. That was not a remake, that was a sequel. But, I mean, they did an amazing job with that, and they took away a lot of the plot holes that existed in the original Halloween franchise. And that's another thing, and I hate that I have to say this about the original Child's Play franchise, but there are a lot of plot holes that kind of get overlooked a lot of the time, and there were some scripting mistakes, particularly what I can remember was in Bride of Chucky. Like, I won't say what it is. If you want a video on the Child's Play plot holes and mistakes, I would love to walk you through that. But, so it'll be interesting to see if this franchise continues and becomes its own thing. Is it going to cover up some plot holes? Is it going to have the same issues? I guess I want to avenge Eddie Caputo. He only ever gets mentioned in the first movie, and the poor guy gets blown up. Like, so there's obviously probably not going to be an Eddie Caputo, working with an AI. But I hope that at the very least, like, this franchise can ease my pain of the plot holes in the original franchise. Like, I hate that it's a thing, and I hate that it bothers me so much, but that's how you know I love it, because I watch it over and over and over and over again, and I'm able to find these, like, little tiny things that they miss in some of the making of. Well, anyway, that is all I have for now. But please tell me down in the comments what you think. How do you feel about this new remake of an amazing franchise? Do you think it's a good idea? Do you think it's going to be bad? Do you think I don't really care? How do you feel about Mark Hamill? It's so hard, because, like, I love me some Brad Dourif, but then, like, Luke Skywalker, like, what do you do? I'm just so curious how you guys feel about that. Let me know how you feel about Aubrey Plaza. Do you think she can fill the role of a single mom? Do you think that she can fill the role of Andy Barclay's mom? Like, I just don't know. So here's my plan. I'm going to go see it this week, and then what I'm going to do for you guys is I'm going to do my best to break it down on here, kind of talk through it. There will be spoilers, I'm sorry. And then kind of compare it to the original, see what I like and what I don't like, where I think it's going to go. And then also, eventually, I know that there is the talk of the Chucky show in the works, but I've only found so much on that, and I've honestly been kind of avoiding Chucky in the media just the past couple of weeks just to try to prepare to see this. So I'm more than happy to talk about what's going on with that after I see this new coming movie. So let me know what you would like to hear down in the comments. Thank you so much for listening, and sorry this was so short, but it's what I got for you today, and I will see you soon with an update on A Child's Play, the Buddy Doll edition. All right, thank you guys so much. Have a great day.